Hello Penguinauts, I'm the Bearded Penguin and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4. Now a lot of you were very upset when I didn't start another Hearts of Iron 4 series immediately after we finished the French Commune series. And I do apologise about that, but I did kind of want a break because Hearts of Iron 4 series take a long time to make, and I do love Hearts of Iron 4. Don't get me wrong, I love this game so much, but I cannot do another campaign immediately after finishing the previous one. Okay, I do need to have a little bit of a break. And you did seem to enjoy Panzer Corps. Don't worry, we're not going to be stopping Panzer Corps, but a lot of you have been demanding for more Hearts of Iron 4. So we're just going to make Panzer Corps a little less often. We are going to continue it because a lot of you seem to enjoy that, although less of you watch it. And we're going to start a new Hearts of Iron 4 series. As you can see, we have the Together for Victory DLC. We're still a DLC behind, of course, because Death or Dishonor came out, but we don't really need Death or Dishonor because I'm not planning to play as any of those nations that get national focus trees from that. But I'm not actually planning to play any of the countries that get national focus trees from Together for Victory either. You're probably thinking, Beardy, why'd you get it then? Well, it gives a load of bonuses and a load of cool stuff, like being able to request Lend-Leases, and it basically just adds a bunch of stuff to the game, which I feel is quite important. And I will play as sort of the Commonwealth in my own time, I'm very sure. But I think it's time that we played as a nation that I don't think many people play as, and I think it should be quite interesting. We're not playing as any of the major nations. We're not going to play Poland. We're not going to play Canada, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa. No. We're all British Raj. We are going to play as Spain. You might be thinking, Beardy, what the hell? Why are you playing as Spain? Well, I think it could be quite interesting. I don't think many people have done this before, and it is a minor nation. But first of all, you've got to deal with the Spanish Civil War, which is pretty interesting, I feel. And then I think we're going to go Nationalist Spain. We did a Communist playthrough last time as Communist France, so we're going to go Nationalist Spain. We're going to join the Axis, and we're going to try and take over the world. Spain very nearly did join the Axis in reality, and a lot of people wonder why they didn't actually do it. There's actually a multitude of reasons. First of all, the Royal Navy was perfectly capable of blockading Spain. So one of the conditions for joining the Axis was actually knock Britain out of the war. Franco was a massive admirer of Hitler, but really they could not afford to go to war while the UK was still fighting, and of course the UK was never knocked out of the war. Second of all, Spain was recovering from the Civil War, which was horrific war. And the populace did not want to enter into World War II at all. It was in no state to enter World War II. Another one was Gibraltar. Of course, one of the first objectives would be to take Gibraltar, but Hitler did not trust the Spanish to take Gibraltar themselves, and of course Franco didn't want German troops running amok in Spain. Probably a good idea after what happened to Hungary later on in the war, when Germans took over the country when they weren't looking. So they sort of reached an impasse at that, and essentially because of that, Spain never really entered into the war. Probably pretty good idea in the long run, because Spain would have almost certainly gone to even more ruin than the Civil War inflicted upon it. So there you have it. I mean, furthermore, a lot of Spanish generals were receiving huge bribes from Britain to stay neutral. Britain did not need another enemy, especially in the early war and in the Mediterranean. Italy and Germany were more than enough for us to deal with in the early stages of the war. Anyway, let's get on with this, shall we? We start with a democratic regime, but soon enough we will be diving straight in to have ourselves a little bit of a civil war. I don't know whether we should have historical AI focuses. That's the thing. I want to play as Nationalist Spain in a pretty historical world, but I want to change the history to my benefit. I don't want to have bloody fascist Britain and democratic Soviet Union. That's kind of what happens when you turn this off. I want to have history that I can change, so I can see the changes and the repercussions of Spain doing something in World War II. I don't want to have it just go ballistic for the sake of it. So we're going to have historical AI focuses just for that reason, I believe. I don't know, we don't need that on. It means that I can't save when I want to save, and I didn't really like it. If I make a mistake or whatever, I can't go back. If I accidentally forget to pause or whatever, yeah, it's just not very good. We're going to stay on regular. Spain's probably going to be a difficult enough nation to play as it is. Let's just get going, shall we? And we'll have a look at what we have to deal with here. I don't really think I've seen any Nationalist Spain playthroughs, so this should be quite interesting. We are, of course, going to be Nationalist Spain and join the Axis and try and take over the world like that, so things should be quite interesting. 27 factories. That isn't actually that bad. I mean, 4 military factories, naval dockyards. We actually have naval dockyards, that's nice. 16 civilian factories, but a lot of them are doing stuff. I know we have 7 military factories, just only 4 in use. So you know what? Spain isn't all that bad at all. I mean, this is coming from a person who's played Czechoslovakia, before Death or Dishonor. I played Norway before and managed to actually conquer England and Germany. So this is not a bad start at all. Yeah, not bad. Okay, so here's the thing. We're going to have the Civil War this year. So do we really want to expand the military? That's the big question. We have quite a reasonably sizable army. I believe they're going to do it historically, the split between nationalist and republican. So I'm sure, yes. Morocco, this is where Franco had his African army, here in Morocco. They had to use German and Italian transports to get them across into Spain and then push up and link up the nationalist territory. Because they had a little pocket sort of here. You had a big pocket up here. Then you had Madrid was controlled by the Republicans and all this sort of side of the country. I think it does it historically. I don't know how they're going to split our military. When you have a civil war, it does split the military. So training new military, I don't know, because we're going to have to defeat ourselves. So this is going to be quite weird. Let's just sort the research out first. Let's not be particularly inventive. Just do the basic research, construction, machine tools, and research time. Not very exciting, I know, but you know, let's just do one thing at a time. Playing as Spain is quite interesting. I haven't even prepared myself for this, and you know, had played it beforehand, see what would happen. I think it'd be more interesting if I just see what happens as it is. We actually have an air force, which is surprising. I mean, not much, but we have some aircraft. Though I'm sure we'll get quite a lot of aircraft from the Germans and such. But yeah, oh, now we have to get for victory. It actually shows the ranges of the aircraft. That's pretty cool. I like that. And you can see, oh, they're like little units as well. I like that. That's good. You can select them like normal units, which makes sense. I want to send them to reserves, though, I think. Can we send them to reserves, or do we have to actually have them somewhere? Hold air wings. How do we send you to reserve? Can we send you to reserve, or do you have to actually be sitting at an airfield? I think they have to be sitting at an airfield now. I just dump them into reserves, like we used to be able to. Okay, that makes sense. This is all new to me. I haven't actually played a game with Together for Victory yet. So there's also a bunch of new commands. I should have put my army into... I selected my entire army. Actually, I don't need to do that. I can just do this, can't I? There we go. Just dump them in this army. That is my navy. Hello. Ah. We have some ships. We have battleships? What? Spain, you're not quite as bad as I thought you were. I didn't think they were bad. But, yeah. Let's get these guys into this army. So we've got 17 divisions. Alright. Again, do I train them for the Civil War or not? Because, you know, they're kind of going to be split. So if we train the troops, we're going to be fighting against half-trained troops. So, let's just garrison all... Oh, we have the Spearhead Command. Ah, cool. Okay, that's cool. Sorry, so much new stuff. So let's just garrison the north of Spain, where we know the nationalists are gonna have control. So we'll get all our troops up there, and we will get you exercising. Yeah. What's a stereotypical Spanish thing? L Army. Yes, L Army. That shall be the name of our first army. Sure. We have quite a few civilian factories, to be fair. What are our resources like? Not that great. Whoa, why has Portugal got all the tungsten? Portugal's going to be our first target. I mean, Portugal was actually part of Spain for 70 years before it gained independence. because the king died and didn't have any heirs, so Spain was like, yoink! But they did regain independence. I guess we've got acceptable levels of resources. There's a bit in Acre, and that's a bit of a useless Africa, really. Yeah. Portugal's our first target once we become fascist. Of course, we don't have to go fascist through a tree, because we have a civil war, don't we? I assume that'll happen automatically. Let's start building military factories, but let's actually build them where we know that we'll keep them when the territory is split. So we'll build them up here first. Let's build a couple of military factories up here where we know we'll have them. Because this is the nationalist territory up here. I'm using my sort of knowledge of history to cheat a little bit. Political effort, we don't really need that right now, do we? Get some dudes in. I think going for industrial effort straight away might be a better idea. Very little point going for army effort, because I said all the bonuses we get our enemy's going to get, so we'll grab all this stuff when we actually started. Go for industrial effort. Yeah, can't go wrong with that. Right, military stuff, military factories. We have no oil, which isn't surprising. How many free... Okay, we've got a few free military factories. We want to get a lot of infantry equipment churned out, really. Make sure we have enough to actually arm our troops. A bit more artillery. We've got the resources for it. And that's all of our military factories. That's fine. We don't really need to be building any planes right now. We've got 3 dockyards. We've got building destroyers and heavy cruisers. And I think that's the best... We have heavy cruiser 2. Damn. We have destroyer 2 as well, actually. How do we start with destroyer... What's our naval stuff? Ah, we start with destroyer 2. We start with heavy cruiser 2. That's not bad at all, Spain. Good job. I love how after like the starting classes just goes to Destroyer 3. It doesn't actually name them anymore, but that's fine. Okay, so yeah, to be fair, Spain is actually pretty decent. All things considered. We need quite a few destroyers. We'll just build up our fleet a lot, so you know, we'll just stick that on infinite. Just keep building them. We'll see if we can import some... We've got quite a few civilian factories, even though a lot of them are being used for consumer goods. So we'll import a little bit of oil from Romania, because they're lovely and fascist. And we love a bit of... Are they fascist yet? I don't know, they're still the Kingdom of Romania, aren't they? So I don't think they are fascist. They'll be our allies eventually, though, so we will trade with them. And they're quite close to us, too. We can just trade straight through... yeah, the controls have changed. It used to be left-click to drag, but now left-click to select, and... yeah... Oh no, actually no, it is the same. I've just been playing too much Panzer Corps. Right, oh hello, do we have troops down here? We do have troops down here. Hello! Sitting in the Canary Islands. Are those Canary Islands? They are the Canary Islands. I'm actually going to the Canary Islands on holiday. I'm going to Lanzarote. That is a Canary Island, right? Yeah, no it is. And then we've got these islands down here. Cape Verde. Bloody Portugal and their islands. We'll soon put an end to that. Right, so yeah, you guys just go garrison up there. Hopefully we'll get the entire army when we go for the Civil War. That will almost certainly not happen. But we can hope. We've got no divisions of basic training. What's our infantry division like? You know what? It's actually not that bad. Come up with of 16. Yeah, we get support artillery and engineer company to start with as well. You're not that bad, Spain. I am... pleasantly surprised. Do we have anything to train? No, we need some equipment before we train. Insufficient resources still, but yeah, we just need to unpause. Right. I believe that is that. Yeah. And here we are. Spain, everybody. Actually, let's move all our aircraft. I want all my aircraft to be in my territory at the start. I'm bargaining on this actually being our territory. Actually, I know Morocco is going to be ours, so we'll just put all our aircraft there. Oh, it actually shows them travelling now as well. I love Together for Victory already. There we go. Dump all of them there. We'll combine our fighter wings as well. I guess there's less chance of them splitting apart if we can... I don't know. I don't really know how civil wars work. I never really had them before. Every time I've ever had civil war was when I was playing as the British Raj. I wanted to go communist. I had a communist coup. And it got crushed within 30 seconds by the British Empire. So, didn't go very well. That was before I had Together for Victory, of course. I make sure I play a game quite a lot before I get DLC. You know, play a game, get as much playability out of it as possible before I get any kind of DLC. You know, because there's not much point getting DLC if you're still having fun with the game. But I thought, another series, we might as well get ourselves together for victory. And Death of Dishonor adds national focus trees for all these dudes over here, but I don't think we really need to bother about it because we're not playing it as any of them yet. So I'm sure it adds a bunch of little things too, but that's all. Hello, Britain. We're going to be having Gibraltar. Britain's going to be our big nemesis here. As I said, Britain is entirely capable of blockading us because we're, kind of surrounded by a lot of ocean and France. So we're going to have to worry about that. But we can certainly become self-sufficient on tungsten just by invading Portugal. I've just been on a music tour to Lisbon, and I'm just about to march in Spain. Hope they won't take it too personally. Please let me come back on music tour Lisbon. It was a very, very lovely city. Yeah, it was a very, very nice music tour, actually. Right, so we'll get step up to 5 times speed, and we shall resume. Anyway, I just went to see Dunkirk today, actually. The new Christopher Nolan film about, obviously, the evacuation from Dunkirk. It was actually a brilliant film. It's been a bit of a Marmite film, I've heard. Oh, Navy. Let's get them all into one base that we know we'll actually have. Let's get them all to Spanish Africa and combine the fleets. There we go. Oh, hello, Spanish election. Second Republic has proven to be a fragile existence. Manuel Aznar can be president with the backing of the Popular Front, a broad coalition of left-wing groups, Republicans, right-wing opposition encompassing conservatives, monarchists and fascists, also begin to unite for the cause of bringing down the Popular Front. Whichever coalition falls apart, their opponents are likely to take advantage of their internal conflicts to launch a revolution. This election is not the final test, but we'll have to endure to resolve this. Communists or Falange Española? I don't want communist support, so there we go. Unite the conservative groups. Boom. Anyway, as I was saying, saw Dunkirk today. It is a bit of a Marmite film because it's a very different film. It's not your bog standard war movie, really. What the hell? Why are we already Nationalist Spain? Do we not have a civil war? I think we are still going to have a civil war. Yeah, we just become Nationalist Spain immediately. I think we do still have a civil war, don't we? Yeah, we've got to have a civil war. Surely. Yeah, because the Republicans aren't going to be too happy about that. Anyway, as I said, so it doesn't take... You don't really have much dialogue. You don't really have your character arcs. You don't really have your bog standard sort of cinema tropes. It's not a Hollywoody sort of movie. No one's set out to make a realistic and pretty respectful actual portrayal of the event itself. It's not about the people in it, it's about the event. And when the action goes down, it is amazing. It is beautiful to look at. And I've really thoroughly enjoyed it, although I can see why some people wouldn't enjoy it. Right, we can go straight for military. Actually, I want to go for the extra research slot. We'll go down construction effort like that. Yeah, but I can see why people wouldn't like it, but I really did enjoy it quite a lot. And my great-grandfather was actually at Dunkirk. He was a Royal Marine, and he... oh, hello, remilitarization of the Rhineland. And he was driving a landing craft which actually picks up soldiers. He picked up soldiers from the beaches of Dunkirk. So it's actually part of my own family history, and I was very happy to see it done justice. And the historical accuracy was very, very... very good. I was very happy with the fact they actually showed, the contributions of the French and the Belgian soldiers as well. It wasn't just, oh, we're Britain and aren't we amazing? They had French destroyers, they had French soldiers. It wasn't like Saving Private Ryan where they didn't show a single British, Canadian or French soldier in the entire film. Which, although they did rectify that, when it came to making Band of Brothers, they showed British Tank Corps in Operation Market Garden and such. But, yeah. Very good film. I thoroughly enjoyed it. As I said, though, I can see why people maybe wouldn't enjoy it as much. But it was good fun. Not good fun. It was not a fun film. Some of those scenes, I wouldn't take a kid to see it. I know it's PG-13, but some of those scenes were really quite disturbing, even. People drowning and such. It was not a fun film at all. Not fun for the family in any way, shape or form. It was really quite harrowing. Although, as I said, very, very good. Edge of your seat the entire time. I would thoroughly recommend seeing it. And I took a person who's not even all that into military history, and she really did enjoy it. So, give it a go. I think it's certainly worth seeing. When are we having this civil war anyway? Maybe I should actually Google when the actual civil war was, because I'm sure it'll pop up when that actually happens. Maybe we should have supported the Popular Front or something. Maybe we would have had a civil war that way, but I didn't want communist support. We've become Nationalist Spain immediately without a civil war, which is a bit weird. Spanish Civil War. Hello. When was it? It was 17th of July, 1936. Aha! It's 20th of May, so we're probably just about to have it. There we go. I probably should have looked at that up before. Before starting a series in Spain, so I could actually prepare for it. Actually, it's about... When it gets to June, actually, we'll stop... Oh, they're fully trained, so... Let's get them just recovering their organisation before we have, you know, a war. I assume it'll split our military right down the middle. Although the military... No, the military took the side of the fascist... Well, I don't want to say the nationalists. Apparently they've changed dispersed industry. Factory output is 10%. Max factories in the state plus 20%. That's the same here. But the vulnerability goes down, conversion speed bonus goes up, efficiency base goes up, and efficiency retention goes up. But it's just the output is a little lower. So dispersed industry's got a few more buffs, so it's not just a no-brainer now. Dispersed industry has a few more little buffs as well. I've always just gone for concentrated industry just because the extra factory output is always, you know, really quite powerful, an extra 5%. But efficiency, retention, and base efficiency, conversion speed as well. I think I'm still going to go for concentrated industry, although now it is, at least it takes 5 seconds to make that decision, not just instantaneous. We've got enough artillery for now, actually. I want to put a little bit more on the support. Oh no, we don't have enough resources for that. Okay. Another one on the old infantry equipment. Can't go wrong with that. Another 2, I think. Yeah. I don't have to import resources, so we'll go for it like that, I think. Actually, as soon as we start, though, we have the resources. I think we should keep doing it. Yeah, because as soon as we start going to war, we're going to run out of artillery quite quick. So, yeah. We are about to have a civil war, everybody. Oh, I just dropped something. Generalissimo? I think that's it. That's Franco, isn't it? I apologise, I don't know much about the Spanish Civil War, although I do know, obviously, nationalists against the Republicans, and the nationalists were far more united. The Republicans were literally anarchists, communists, even just leftists, socialists, everyone, whereas the right was far more united, far more disciplined. The left-hand side is literally anyone who just hated the right wing. It wasn't quite as united. We can modify our government. Can we change our civilian economy? Get a partial. Actually, I'm going to wait until we actually explode into civil war before we change anything, because we are about to go into it, and then I want to jump to, you know, war economy or whatever. You know, mobilize, fully mobilize. I want every man, woman, and child with a gun in their hand and marching for El Generalissimo. I cannot say that. El Generalissimo. I think that's it. I can't speak. Anyway, I don't know how this is going to work, but we're almost there, so I guess we're going to find out. Here we go. Spanish Civil War. Oh, hello. Research. We can't get that yet. How's our infantry stuff? Pretty bad. Let's go for support weapons. We're about to have a war, so that would probably be a good idea. Right, here we go. That was the date, wasn't it? Was that the date? That was the date of the Spanish Civil War. Oh, 17th of July. Oh, but now we've gone past the date. Well, we've gone past the date of the actual Spanish Civil War. Are we actually having a civil war? I don't know. We should, but we're not, apparently. Is it the end of the month it's going to happen? I don't know. We'll find out. I haven't tested it. I mean, we're already Nationalist Spain somehow. I'm not entirely sure how this works, but I'm going to check this out, actually. Like, have we just bypassed the Civil War by clicking the wrong thing? Because I kind of wanted to have the Civil War. I thought it'd be more fun. Okay, so I've had a little look on the Paradox forums, and it turns out that whatever you do, the Spanish Civil War is completely unavoidable. However, if you put Franco into power a little earlier, unhistorically, like we have, it actually reduces the world tension that you generate from having the civil war, because nationalist Spain is original Spain, whereas if you support the left side, then the nationalist side are essentially the rebels. So them winning is essentially them coupping and them annexing original Spain. So the territory is still sort of, I guess, contested. So you generate more world tension. So this way, we annoy less people. So actually, it's all good. And apparently the event happens at a sort of a random time after we have that election. Or not having that election at all, which is what we did. So we couldn't really bargain on it being on the date that it was in reality. And there we go, Italy has managed to defeat Ethiopia. There we go, the colonization of Africa is complete. I was going to say wonderful, but it's not really wonderful, is it? It's not really wonderful for Ethiopians. That's some good water. I'm glad to get back to English water, because a lot of people say that London water is horrible, you know, the hard water that you get in London. And I can see where people are coming from when they say that, but I've grown up with it, so it's what I think of as water. So drinking water in Portugal, in Lisbon, it tastes weird to me, even though it's better for you and it doesn't make your throat drier when you drink it. It's just, I don't know, it's not water to me, and I don't really like it. So I'm perfectly happy to get back to good old Britannia and our horrible water, because that's what I consider normal. Anyway, surely the civil war is going to happen around now. Surely. When's the civil war happening? Come on, Spain, rile up the masses, get the workers to unite. Let's have ourselves a bit of a tussle. We're basically just sort of sitting on waiting for war to happen. Not really preparing for much. Just sort of waiting, because I can't really do anything until the war's happened. We can't really go to war with Portugal if then suddenly have a civil war ourselves. What's the point in going to war with them? I doubt we'd even have the... we can justify war goals against them because we're fascist right now. That's kind of nice. Oh, hello, we have military factories. We don't have enough aluminium. Or aluminum, if you're American scum. I'm just kidding. Not scum. But, yeah, I think we're going to have to bite the bullet and import a bit of aluminum from somewhere. Let's import from Hungary, shall we? Oh, it's cheaper to import from France, I think. They're right next to us. Nah, Hungary's fine. There we go, Hungary. A future fascist. I was halfway through saying Spain and fascist. A Spashist nation. Yes. Spanish ally. Yeah, I want to say Spanish ally and fascist, so I said Spashist. Freudian slip. Anyway. Is it a Freudian slip? I think that's a Freudian slip. I'm not sure. Oh, hello. We should be producing these dudes directly into our navy here. Hello. We actually have a somewhat decent-ish navy. Let's sort this navy out, though. Let's get them all into one fleet, shall we? Even the submarines. Actually, not the submarines. Submarines into one fleet and all the surface ships into one fleet. There we are. Right. So we had Le Grand fleet, so we'll have L surface fleet and L sneaky fleet. Yes, and I don't have a single commander. Oh yes, I do love being Spain. We'll get a new commander. There we go. Got a commander for you? No, new commander. Hello. Wonderful. L Sneaky Fleet and L Surface Fleet. You guys go join L Surface Fleet, please. We've got a stack of... political power. Reduce industrial research time. We'll soon have enough to get ourselves, you know, whatever national focus is. Well, things that we need, such as moving to war economy and such. I don't really want to waste my political power on partial mobilization and such. We don't really need it until we go into the Civil War. So, how are you guys? They're quite well trained now, actually. Yeah, nicely done. I don't want to garrison the whole of Spain. As I said, I want to garrison territory which I know that we actually get. If it actually splits historically, I think it splits historically. I'm not entirely sure. Saying that, we've got control of the whole country now. We're not doing it historically. Historically, it was a coup on the 17th of July. So, when's it gonna happen, guys? Are we having a civil war or are we not having a civil war? You don't know what's going on. Does Hitler like us? Let's have a look at Hitler likes us. Oh, he does like us. I mean, in reality... Oh, we can join the faction. Yes. Oh, wow, that was quick. We're in the Axis.